I disagree with that. I think someone can be completely devoted and in love with you, and that their agenda might be, I'm not going to cheat. But time passes, things change, the person just starts doing the wrong things, and someone can change their mind.
I do agree with the comment. I think there's always signs, well, that I have not seen. Like every time a guy has cheated on me, I'm like, oh my God, look at that. He said this, and then he said that, and then he didn't answer here, and then I always like put the dots together, and it comes like like a picture, and it shows me every time that it could have happened, and I didn't see it, or like a comment, or like he looked at another girl's butt while I was there, stuff like that. You always kind of know.
I think it's both. There's men out there or women who have a really bad intention, like they have the intention from the beginning, and they're really good at hiding it. So truly you might not see the signs. But I think most of the time you are ignoring certain red flags that you should have seen, or that you're just ignoring, like, oh, that's normal. You just make like excuses sometimes for those things that you see because you're so in love or because you really wanted to work out.
I think that you do see the signs, but they can be before you got in a relationship, while in the relationship, or after. I think one of the things that I would look for is their current habits, their current friends, their circle, right? That says a lot about, do they have friends? Do they not have friends? What kind of friends? What are they doing? And the person can change. Maybe they are flirts, or they look at girls' butts when they walk around, And if you call it out in a way that you actually want to help the person get better, like, hey, I noticed that when a beautiful girl walks around, you look at her ass. And
Let's
then
talk about that.
because honestly, yeah, let's talk about it. Like that's
Why are you doing
yeah,
that?
why is that? Because sometimes it's a guy thing, or it's because his friends are doing it. It's one of those things, like, you're not the therapist, but it's like, depending on the answer, maybe the guy's like, oh, I never noticed. Oh, does that make you feel uncomfortable? Well, you have the conversation, and then from there, you can either see more red flags or no. And vice versa, like girls, whatever girl does, the guy should also see the red flags, lying, texting other guys or whatever, but have the conversation. Don't always assume things. I believe that people can get better. I believe that people can change. I'm not going to be someone's therapist either, but I'll ask them the question, hey, why are you doing that? And then depending on the answer, like, oh, why? Why does it bother you? Right? Well, you're insecure? Okay. Or, oh, yeah, let's have a conversation.
If a person cheats on me, I haven't been able to identify an ideal partner. Yeah. 100%, like all of my ex-boyfriends are a mess. An absolute mess. Players, disasters, all of them, but I was like, you know what, I can fix them. I can make them better, I was like, I can save them and show them like a better path of life. I'm gonna be their savior. So yeah, 100%. Like, I do agree that for me, right, in my case, I would make wrong decisions because of the guys, because I like bad boys and I like the drama and the fights and the adrenaline that came with it. I really did.
The stress.
The stress, the game, I don't answer the phone and where are you? I love.
I want to be a detective today.
But then finally I grew up. I matured, realized that's not peaceful at all, and it was causing me like more emotional damage, and like it would bring my self-esteem super low. So once I was able to identify that, then of course I found a good relationship. But yeah,
I think that you think and you believe that you did identify the ideal partner. Like at that moment in time, you were sure. And then over time, things change or things happen that make you question if that is the right person or not. So I don't think necessarily you didn't identify it. It's just that at that time, that was the ideal person for you. So as you grow, as you develop, as you mature, as you become a better person yourself, then your ideal partner and what you want in a man might change too.
I love that comment because it puts a lot of responsibility on the person. Like, okay, if he cheats on you, well, you didn't identify it. But I do agree with what you're saying, because sometimes you get with a person and you might be in the same level of responsibility, the same level of ethics, and all of a sudden now you have more responsibility, more ethics, and the person's still there. And then that's when that person is no longer your ideal partner. Maybe he cheats, maybe he lies. And I think cheating is like lying overall, like not just with another woman. And we talked about this on our other episode, if you want to see the full episode on that. Link. But yeah, it's like, they're dishonest, because if your ethics are going up, you are being more responsible, and then they're still here, it's not going to be the same. And you have to be able to recognize that and either let go or try to, bring him up, or her. And if it doesn't work, then no. But I like that. Whoever comment on that, yes, full responsibility.
Yeah, I love that. It puts into it makes you responsible for the decision rather than just blaming the other person. But I completely agree with you. I think at the time, you think that was the ideal person. And maybe there were red flags, maybe there weren't. You're blinded by the love and the affection and the fun and the excitement and what you think is right. But as you continue to grow as a person, because you do that every single day, then that's when things start going out of balance if the person is not aligned with you.
Can we give like 3 characteristics, just super quick, of an ideal guy that a person could be looking for? Okay. Super quick. What do you guys think?
Yeah, go for it.
The 3, me?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
I thought you had them ready. I was like, yeah.
You do it. I came with the idea. Now you go ahead. You execute. Let me see. The person is very willing to communicate. It's not gonna gaslight you that that you're wrong or whatever. It's willing to communicate. Another thing, he likes to spend time with you and lets you know where he is, or her or she is at all times. Hey, I'm doing this. What other thing?
For me, I think the main thing would be that he or she is constantly working on themselves. Like, never ever stop working on yourself, because then now I have to drag you up, worry about you, and like a partner should be an asset, So it'd be number 1, like, work on yourself, never stop learning, whether it's learning a new language, trying a new business, taking a course, taking that next step on the thing that you said you were gonna do, And I think when that person has that, if it's constantly getting better, like, I don't know, being responsible, communication, ethics.
Comes with it, yeah.
And continuing to create with me. So working on yourself, continuing to create the future with me. And I don't know what the third thing would be. I feel like those 2 kind of fulfill my ideal scene.
I like it.
I agree with all of those. Like, yes. For me, somebody that brings solutions, that for me is huge. Like, if somebody's creating problems all the time,
I'm the problem.
it's, like, there could be problems and there could be issues, and that's normal. But if there's not somebody that's willing to give solutions to those problems, whether they are good solutions or not, but somebody that's willing to change their current scene.
If somebody doesn't commit to you, it's because they haven't committed to themselves. That's it. Like, if you cannot commit to if you cannot commit to having a dog, for example, you haven't commit to like feeding yourself, taking care of yourself. Like, your life is a mess. Most people are like, I cannot have a dog because it's a mess. Like, I can barely, or you have responsibilities or whatever. So if someone is not committing to you, you're probably asking for too much from that person. They probably need to figure their life out, their business out, their family, whatever is going on. And then once they commit to themselves, they can actually expand and commit to you, to maybe children in the future, growing businesses. So that's what I would say why somebody wouldn't commit.
I think the opposite.
Really?
Yeah.
A ver.
Well, yes, a lot of what you're saying is true, but I think it could also be because of you. If that person is not committing, he might be.
For sure.
I think it's because of you.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't know who asked, but yes.
I think you need to figure it out why, what is missing that person is not like why they're not committing to you, like what's missing. I will have a conversation and be like, listen, obviously there's something that's happening, like what do you want me to change, or how is it that, why, like find out the answers, and then work on that. And if you do all the right things and everything and that person's still not committing, then I will say,
I love
is that.
You're my yin to the yang. It's the other side of the equation. And it's so true. I love that.
I agree with that, very much so. So I don't think it's a one answer situation. But the way I also see it, if a person cannot commit, and this is something that I've seen and been able to pick up from the people that are not willing to commit to a dog, to an apartment, to a person or anything, is they're so caught up in them, like they're selfishly not matured yet and do not want to take responsibility. So when you mix those two together, there's no committing to absolutely anything, not even what you're going to have for lunch. That to me has been these flags that I've picked up over time, hearing it, and I'm just like, you're more in your own bubble and nothing outside matters to you. So why commit to someone else?
I don't know. It's a big button for me, like
If you don't want to, then bye.
Yeah, am I getting to something like no?
It's like peace.
Yeah. Don't commit.
Bye. See ya later.
Why?
That could be an answer. No, but that could be an answer.
Because it was so hard for me with my current situation. Like I was giving everything, and I was like, "What else do you want?"
It was kind of in this situation. It was what she was saying.
And then it was like, you know what? I'm leaving, and if that's what you want, then that's what you want. And then he was like, no, that's not what I want. And if everything changed, right? But I think it's also good, like you guys said, you had the answer that I was thinking about. You have to ask, like, what else? I'm gonna try, but if that commitment doesn't come, is that person that cannot commit to anything or are like in their own problems, work, whatever they're going through, that they cannot see outside of that.
Figure out what your purpose is, what you want. And I think I didn't know what my purpose was when I was 18. I'm taking like a real woman, like a young woman. I think if I would have figured out what I like, what I enjoy, what I'm good at, without listening to outside invalidations or evaluations or people's thoughts about who I am. So having that quiet time to yourself, or having a really good group of friends that are doing better than you, that have things that you don't have, so they figured it out, so like get around those people. But finding your purpose and like even writing them down and starting to build your own path, your own little like step by step, and work it out. And I'm thinking if you're 18, 19, 20, that's what I would do in that age range.
Advice, I would say be industrious. I really think that once you are working, figuring out things, moving, the next job, the next this, like when you're moving in life, doing things, you will eventually find the right people that are gonna be, helping you, and also your purpose. But I don't think it will happen if you're just laying in bed watching TV all day long. So the more industrious you are and the earliest that you can be industrious, the better you will do in life. The more real, you will become more of a real woman, a person in general in life.
For me, I love the industrious, you're constantly moving. One thing that I would focus on as a young woman, something that I was focused on is being the it girl. Like, what can I do to be more popular? Why can't I just want more people to like me? So stop worrying less about being the it girl and worry more about finding what girl you are. Like, half of the time you don't even know who you are at that age, right? Because you're grabbing all this information from other people, and you end up building this version of you that wasn't really you all along. Do that personal development that's really gonna dig deep in the person that you are. And when you know that, then you know I'm a real woman because I am me, not another person's version of myself.
That's beautiful, honestly.
That was power. Yeah. Yeah, I have nothing. That was beautiful. I relate to that. Like, figure out yourself, and then I'm a real woman because I'm me.